us all together. Lord, we gather in your name as children of a sovereign God. Forever we proclaim, to God be all glory.
Well, good afternoon. How you doing? It is Saturday, June the 7th, 2025. Welcome to episode 343 of The Thinking Theologian as we continue our journey through the scriptures. So today, we read Job 24 to 28. The title of today is Rebelling Against the Light. The focal scripture is in Job 24:13, and this is what it says. The wicked are those who rebel against the light. They do not recognize its ways or stay on its path. And so if you remember kind of where we're at, Job is discussing with his friends why these bad things are happening to him. They're saying this is sin you've committed. Job's like, hey, I've done what's right. I've done what God's asked me to do. I've been diligent in my faith. And so he's having these responses and these conversations with his friends. And so they're trying to get to the bottom of why these things are happening to Job, why he suffered so much as he did. And so we're trying to understand, he's arguing his case, like, look, I haven't done anything wrong, and these are things that are taking place. And so to kind of make this illustration here, as we're talking about this particular verse, and we're going to go more in detail in a minute. So if you've ever been camping, you know how important light is at night, especially if you have to leave your tent for any reason. If you have to go get something, have to go to the bathroom, have to go to the bathhouse, wherever it is, you need light, kind of like the path. The light you carry, whether it's a flashlight or another device, only has a limited range. Even in the middle of the night, you could have a really bright light, but it's only limited. It only goes so far. The light is intended that you're using, intended to give you perspective and focus your eyes on the path you are walking straight at. It's not intended to be up in the air or light everything around behind you. Flashlights don't go behind us, they go in front of us to light the path we're walking. And so you must follow the light to move forward. And so, we know that going towards the light and following the light is what we're asked to do. And so today's reading, we see Job respond to his friend, and he lets him know that the wicked rebel against the light. He's like, look, I am not one of these people, but they rebel against the light. They don't recognize its ways or stay on lighted paths. The wicked don't stay with the light, and they get off the path that the light is on. Job is making it obvious that saying, I'm not one of those people. And so they even make decisions that keep them from walking on lighted paths. The evil people do this because they don't want to be on paths that are lit where other people can see it. This means that they are choosing to walk on paths that are hidden and not exposed, paths that are not designed to be traveled. And so to put today's reading in perspective, we must understand that forging a new path and doing something extraordinary often means difficulty. It means walking a path nobody has accomplished. These verses are not talking about being a trailblazer. So I want to make a distinction here, is that we should be trailblazers. We should walk difficult paths sometimes to get and accomplish things we need to accomplish. This is talking about people who are choosing these things because they want to live in sin and live in wickedness. So these verses are not talking about being a trailblazer. They are talking about people who choose to stay away from truth and God. Job is declaring the wicked are ones who avoid light and members and fight for God's light. So what is the application for us today in our walks? It is that we must be a people who are focused on God and follow his path and his ways. When you walk in the light, it forces you to examine everything that surrounds you on your path. You pay attention to details and dangers. You're okay with what you're doing being seen by others. We are called to walk in the light because God has prepared that path. However, the evil rebel against the light. They don't like for things to be exposed, and the truth is not their friend. The evil choose paths that are hidden for secret reasons. The evil are not led by the light, but by wickedness. So ask yourself today: are you led by this? Are you led by the Spirit? Are you led? So ask yourself today: what are you led by in your life? Sorry, if I get it out. Wickedness or light? Examine the path you're on and determine if it's lighted or dark. If it's not lighted today, today is the day to correct that and get it settled. And so what I wanted you to get from today is this reading is that Job is declaring, I'm not in this problem because of wickedness in my life, because wicked people do these things, and I'm not one of those people. And so we have to ask ourselves, are we doing right in our lives? And do we have any wickedness in us that needs to be dealt with? And so that's the question. And that's the challenge that we all must face and we all must look at. So hopefully that makes sense. Trying to condense that and get that. There's a lot here in this conversation style. And so, but understand that the evil rebel against the light. The people who want holiness go towards the light, and they want their way to be exposed. And you want God to direct their paths. If you don't want God to direct your paths and you want to keep it hidden, there's a major problem. And so, no matter how simple the hidden is, if you're hiding it, it's a problem. And so, I hope that makes sense today. I struggled, had a word today. That's the verse that spoke to me. And in my head, it's working out, but it may not coming out right in my writing or what I'm saying today. But hopefully you got that. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know. I'll be glad to answer them. Tomorrow we'll be in Job 29 through 31. Have a good day, and I will.